Who the is Ayesha Curry?
Bruh.
Welcome to another episode of the Identity Booth. It has been a minute since I've recorded, but it probably hasn't seemed like that. Actually, it probably has, because it's been like 3 weeks since I've uploaded. I got a bunch of stuff in my queue, but I haven't really had time to upload it. I've been getting kind of down into the nitty-gritty of studying and preparing for future endeavors. But it's really nice to be recording again. It's really nice to be talking to you guys. How are you doing? And as I hope my little thumbnail or clickbait worked, but it's not really clickbait in the sense of I want to kind of like roast Ayesha Curry for her comments, because to be honest, I've only caught a glimpse of it. I only caught whatever was necessary for me to digest it, because it's not really what she said that I'm worried about, is how it's being perceived and also the underlining issue about what she said. So for all you guys that don't know, basically she doesn't feel, she has some insecurities. Let's just call it what it is. She has some insecurities about being a woman in the spotlight, and this is something that you can easily inference from her because of her current status. She's the wife to a very famous NBA athlete. She has the ideal life in the sense of, you know, what most people aspire to, like relationship goals. A lot of people have tagged the Curry's relationship as a goal for people, but this is also easy way of saying everything that shines isn't gold, and like that whole saying, that whole notion, because clearly there is trouble at home, and relationships aren't perfect. They're built on tolerance. They're built on the ability for you to kind of work with your partner to make it look perfect, because we know inherently that 50% of the people in America, after they get married, they get divorced. So it goes without saying. Let's talk a little bit about the strong woman persona. It's not really a persona, it's an actuality, but it's a persona. It's a persona that kind of shifts and changes based on what you're talking about, because the strong person persona can fit a lot of people. The strong black woman is a relic, is an ideal culture for the black society. When you think about a black woman, you think about the struggles, the trials, the tribulations, the abuse, the lack of notoriety, the lack of appreciation that is given to black women in our society, because they are the caretakers of black men. You know, black women don't get to run out on their kids. They don't get to leave their baby daddies at the hospital with a kid. That's traditionally the role of the baby daddy, the father, the man in the relationship. So black women don't get the recognition they deserve. But this doesn't mean that they shouldn't be checked on. You know, your strongest friends need help too. There's a great post that I like referencing. You know, you think of all the people that committed suicide or in the last year, or the people who were using drugs for abuse. They were some of the happiest people you saw on camera, but you never know what's really going on behind closed doors. So it's always, as a friend, it's always up to you to extend that olive branch. As awkward as the conversation might be, you much rather have this weird conversation than be giving a goodbye speech at their funeral. Pick your poison. She is a strong, independent woman who has made a name for herself off the coattail of her husband, but she has her own line of products, from house care to food to magazine articles. Like, I know she has her own business going for her. And as a mother of 2 or 3 children, you know, her insecurities aren't unfounded. You know, even thinking back to just, I happened to watch the Beyonce Coachella performance, and just hearing her talk about the 101 day struggle, about her getting back into shape and trying to keep up with younger people, and how she felt insecure about these things, but watching her build on those. You know, she has an internal drive that is unfathomable to me, at least, because that's something that you rarely see, and it's so important for us to have seen someone we look in high regards to at a low point. It's very important for people to see their heroes in their actual light. I know a lot of people say don't meet your heroes, but when they do give you a glimpse of them, hopefully it's the realest version of them, because you get to learn to appreciate what you just saw. I think Ayesha Curry needs to dabble in that, a rebuild of herself, because what she's said has different perceptions and can be interpreted differently, which leaves the fairway to all of this conversation going on around it. One of the angles people are taking with her comments is that she's greedy. For her to say that she doesn't feel appreciated or undervalued or has some insecurities because she's not being recognized or people aren't sliding in her DMs, you're a married woman to a highly respected, highly regarded individual who has a minimalist way of living his life as far as social media is concerned. So this might be a ploy to get notoriety and attention and swell around something big. I wouldn't be surprised in 2 weeks if she drops a new product and it just carries on the wave. Like, sure, that's all fine and good, but words have consequences. And from the sound of it, she sounds like an ungrateful wife, which is kind of boggling to me because she has what a lot of people call relationship goal life. Like, for you to make a statement like that, it probably has an underlining tone that we hear abuse or some type of problem that might need intervention in that household, especially given the fact that there are children involved. What you say matters. You know, there's even like jokes going on the internet about how, like, you know, maybe Steph Curry not being able to shoot his shot in the gym is the same thing with him shooting a shot in the bedroom. Like, it might be a stroke thing. It might be this thing. Like, you just breed ground. You just left yourself open for attack from the public in a negative light. And it not only affects you, it affects your children. It affects Steph Curry. It affects your ecosystem, which is your life. And the more opportunities you give people to see you naked is the more opportunities you get to have imperfections pointed out. So it's very important that when you put yourself out there, you understand what you're doing. But I feel like this is a grasp for attention, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, because if we were paying attention to the likes of the hundreds of people we've lost to suicide, maybe they would still be here to tell their story. So I don't see this as a negative thing. This is a cry for help, and I feel like her close friends and cohorts will be helping her if it is a thing. But at the same time, we live in shock value nation where her husband's hot right now, she's hot right now. If she drops a product in the next 2 weeks, she got us. She got us. But another thing I want to be able to talk about here is like validation. You know, women, there's a group of women out there who say, I don't wear makeup or get in shape for anybody else other than me. Go fuck yourself. You're lying, because it's instinctively in our nature to try and stand out. Like, we like to be validated. That is something everyone enjoys. You think to yourself, if you're one of these people that are saying bullshit, hero, I don't need anyone to validate me. You're absolutely right. You don't need them, but you like them to. And this is what happens when you don't validate people who you think are beyond reproach. Think of Ayesha Curry. She doesn't need the validation of anybody based on prior to these comments, but it's clear the validation she's looking for the most is from her own husband, who, based on her statements, leads me to believe he doesn't validate her. It is important to remind people how much you appreciate them. And validation can be interchanged with appreciation. Appreciation for people who go to the gym, who work on themselves, who are trying to better themselves in any facet of life is something to be acknowledged, something to be celebrated, something to be praised. The problem comes that some people then turn this into a way of fame, Look at me. I have a nice butt. I'm going to put it on Instagram. Like, that draws a certain negative connotation because at this point you're flaunting yourself for notoriety. Granted, you can do that, but is that what you really want to be known for? All you want to be known for? Ayesha Curry the situation seems to scream out to me that she's looking for validation from the people she cares about the most, and she can't get that. And it's easy to believe how she's not able to get that because Steph Curry's in the playoffs. He's a 3-time champion. Like, there's a lot of pressure riding on him and his teammates, and he is needed in this facet of the world where she's not really involved, where she can't really contribute to his success. So it makes her feel sort of minimized in her role as a wife. And as a wife, you want to be able to say to your husband, there's nothing that I can't help you get through. That's not the case for the Currys right now. So validation or appreciation of people needs to be, especially in the African American community, where you see somebody doing their damn thing. You'll see this video. People will see this video about me trying to validate or appreciate the strong black woman, and they'll be like, nah, I'm not gonna like this. But they'll go like some thick ass girl or some workout routine to a complete stranger's page who doesn't even know their name. And that's what they seem to value. And that's what they seem to want to validate. So it's important to have a certain level of confidence, a certain level of security about yourself, which I'm comfortable within myself of me posting this video that's going to be probably more than 10 minutes long, and it's only going to get probably 7 likes. I'm okay with that because my message is still reaching the people I want it to reach. And ultimately, it's about me trying to identify with you as you identify with me. That is the purpose of the identity booth. Some people don't know their purpose in that realm of identification. Let's try and help them find that. And I guess like the last part of this that I kind of like want to talk about is just the duty of black men to black women. We have a moral obligation to support them. We don't readily have to agree with what they're doing, but we should be able to take pause, hear them out, not respond, and ask them what we can do to help. Far too long in the black community have we put the onus on the woman to suffice or to acclimate to situations. The black man is constantly being targeted, but we constantly forget to protect or ask who's really got our back. Ayesha Curry is Steph Curry's greatest ally, and I have no doubt that what she said was not implied to scar Steph Curry. It wasn't to throw dirt on Steph Curry's name. That wasn't her goal. She's looking for help in all the wrong places. We need to be able to make sure that our women are secure in the way they feel, act, dress, move, talk, and live in this world. We are their first line of defense, period. And with Mother's Day right around the corner, it seems almost poetic because a lot of black men will be celebrating today, while even fewer will be celebrating the Father's Day aspect of it. We, as black men, owe a lot to black women, and they don't get enough credit. They're building a world for themselves in the educational field. As you can probably tell, like there's like 8 out of 10 college students who graduate now who are black are women. And like they're really taking over the aspect of the world that we need them to be, while we're still out here on mics, dribbling on courts, picking and playing in pickup football games. Like, there's no reason for us to take this out of like context. Supporting our people is important, and it should always be our first reaction to someone calling out for help. This is a cry for help. Hopefully she can find that, but keep the jokes, the memes to a minimum. But just on an in-depth conversation, I really want to know how you guys feel about this. Like, do you feel that like Ayesha Curry is in need of help? Do you feel like her statements were beyond reproach? Like, what do you feel about this situation? I'm eager to know. I really appreciate you guys, checking out this video. I try and drop this on the dime, because it's sort of hot right now. I kind of saw the story today, so I recorded this today while I was at home, had some off time. But let me know what you guys think. I'm really eager to hear. Tell me if I'm right, tell me if I'm wrong. I probably don't care if you think I'm wrong, but no, seriously, I'm trying to identify with you as you identify with me. So hit me up. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram. You can find me on Player FM. I think I'm gonna get the one podcast app for iPhone. I heard it's really good. I'm also trying to get on Spotify now that they stopped being assholes about the whole purchasing 5-year plan bullshit. I'm on iTunes, Google Play. You can also, if you're watching this, you're probably watching it on YouTube right now. So give me a like, give me a subscribe. No, seriously, those things help. So definitely hit that like button, or I'm gonna come find you. You don't want this smoke. I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna get back to work. I forgot how difficult it was to set up. So it took me 20 minutes to set up, and this was a 10-minute video, and now I'm done. So I don't know, maybe I'll record something else, but I didn't really write anything else. So it's been real. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching the Identity Booth. Continue to identify with me as I identify with you.